Hello everybody, welcome to Cartesian's classroom. In this session we are going to discuss about aortic cannula, a very familiar equipment of cardiopulmonary bypass. So what is aortic cannula? From the name you can easily guess or easily understand that the aortic cannula is an arterial cannula. Obviously aorta is a major artery. It's an arterial cannula which is used to connect the arterial limb of cardiopulmonary bypass circuit to deliver the oxygenated blood from the oxygenator to patient's body or patient's system. So this is a gross description of aortic cannula. Next, what is the material? You all know, you all have seen aortic cannula, so you all know that the material of the body of aortic cannula is usually made of soft plastic, so plastic body, and the tip is made of hard plastic or metal. The reason of making tip with a hard plastic or metal is to provide the best ID to OD ratio, that means internal diameter to outer diameter ratio. And another reason is hard plastic. With the help of hard plastic or hard material, it is easier to puncture the aorta with the cannula tip itself. And some aortic cannula, we have seen that they have flange. Flange is nothing but a side to secure the bursting sutures, and usually aortic cannula has a radio-opaque line. Next is its types. Usually aortic cannula is of three types: right angle tip, straight tip, and tapered tip or soft flow cannula. Among these three types, these two types are commonly used. The most commonly used is the right angle tip cannula. In cases straight tip is also used. Tapered tip or soft flow tip is not usually or very often or very commonly used type of aortic cannula. And the sizing of aortic cannula is done in millimeter. In case of venous cannula, we have seen that the sizing is done in French. But in case of aortic cannula, the common unit which is used for sizing the aortic cannula is millimeter. Next is the cannulation site. Usually, you all know aortic cannula is placed at the top of ascending aorta for routine cardiopulmonary bypass, and alternative sites can be femoral artery or axillary artery. Now in simple terms, we usually say that the aortic cannulation is done at the top of ascending aorta. But to be more precise about the site of cannulation, the site can be described as it should be within the pericardial reflection. Pericardial reflection on the aorta, because where the pericardium is fused with the anterior surface of the aorta, the pericardial reflection is fused with the anterior surface of the aorta. At that position, aorta is little bit tougher and better for cannulation than the other parts. Obviously, this part is little bit tougher than the other part, so there will be lesser chance of rupture or lesser chance of tearing. So this position is usually used, and in this location, the cannulation site is proximal to the origin of brachiocephalic artery, and the site also should be a little to the left of the anterior aortic surface. Why to the left of the anterior surface? Little to the left of the anterior surface, because it gives an added precaution against the cannula tip entering the brachiocephalic artery. So to avoid accidental cannulation of brachiocephalic artery, usually the arterial side, usually the cannulation side is a little bit left on the anterior surface of the aorta. Next, we will see the technique of cannulation. Next is the cannulation technique for aortic cannulation. First and the most important thing to check before aortic cannulation is if adequate heparinization is done, and this is monitored through ACT or activated clotting time, and it should be more than 480 seconds before aortic cannulation is done. It must be more than 480 seconds before aortic cannulation. Next, the steps of cannulation. First, two purse-string sutures of 20 or 30 prolene is placed. Now this is a very common question asked in Viva or as a short question. How many purse-string sutures are taken for aortic cannulation? So two purse-string sutures are taken for aortic cannulation, and the purse-string sutures should only catch the adventitia and should not penetrate the lumen. We all know major arteries have three layers: tunica adventitia, tunica media, and tunica intima. Tunica adventitia is the outermost layer, so the purse-string sutures should only catch the tunica adventitia, that is the outermost layer, and not penetrate the lumen. Next, tourniquets are placed on these purse-string sutures. The adventitia within the purse-string is incised, and during this incision, during placing this incision, the aorta is stabilized by a gauze piece under the left index finger, under the surgeon's left index finger, and then a controlled stab wound of sufficient length is made within the purse-string suture. Next, the aortic cannula, as I have mentioned earlier, the tip of aortic cannula is usually made of hard plastic or metal, so that it can easily penetrate the aorta wall. So with the help of the tip of aortic cannula, it is slipped through the stab wound of sufficient length inside the aorta, and usually it is done bloodlessly. The care is taken to adjust the cannula so that only 5 to 10 mm projects into the aorta in case of straight tip aorta. Otherwise, the tip of aorta will hit against the posterior wall of aorta and will cause aortic wall dissection. So special care is taken for that. And if angle cannula is used, it is positioned so that the opening of the lumen of cannula faces distally towards the aortic arch. That means the opening of the aortic cannula, if this is the arch of the cannula, then this opening will face towards the aortic arch. After confirming the position, then the tourniquets on the parsing sutures is secured and the cannula is tied to them. Next is position confirmation of aortic cannula. Usually the main strategy is to look for the blood column swing, and the next is pressure gradient. Pressure gradient must not be more than 100 mm of mercury. Next, after initiating the bypass, there should be adequate urine output with perfusion, and the position can also be confirmed by TE or epiaortic scanning. And the last are the complications. The common complications associated with aortic cannulation are bleeding, malposition of aortic cannula, air embolization, aortic dissection, and sandblasting effect, that is the dislodgement of atherosclerotic plaque. So this is all about the aortic cannula, and this is all for this session. I hope the session was understandable, and thank you, goodbye, and take care.